The rain was cold. I stood outside my own house, a 70-year-old man with a small bag at my feet. Just 20 minutes before I had been a father. Now I was just a man in the rain. My daughter Nia and her husband Derek were inside. In her hand was a lottery ticket worth $125 million. A ticket I had bought. Let me tell you how my world broke in 20 minutes. We were in the living room, the three of us. The TV was on, showing the lottery numbers. I was in my favorite chair, the one that had my shape worn into it. Nia was on the sofa, holding the ticket tightly. Derek stood behind her. The first number came. 23, I smiled inside. That was my late wife Loretta's birthday. The next number was 8, the month we married. My heart felt warm. Then came 16 and 41, Nia gasped. The final number was 52. It was a perfect match. We had won. The room exploded with joy. Nia screamed with happiness. Derek shouted. They hugged each other, laughing and crying. I felt a deep relief. I wasn't thinking of fancy cars or big houses. I was thinking that Nia's student loans could be paid. I was thinking the leak in our roof could finally be fixed. I was thinking of my promise to Loretta on her deathbed. Take care of our girl, Eli, she had whispered. I had promised, but then the laughter stopped. Suddenly, the room went quiet. I looked at them. Their faces had changed. The joy was gone. Now their eyes were cold. Derek looked at me and his smile was a sneer. Well, Elijah, he said, looks like we won't be needing your Social Security checks anymore. His words hit me hard. For 2 years since I retired, I had given them my Social Security money every month to help them pay their bills. I lived on very little so they could have more. I looked at Nia. I waited for her to tell Derek to stop. But she said nothing. She just looked at me with cold eyes. Dad, she said. Her voice was flat. We need this space now. We will have important people visiting. Lawyers, financial advisors. You need to find your own place. I could not believe what I was hearing. Nia, I said. This is my house. I built it with your mother, Derek laughed. It was an ugly sound. Not anymore, old man. You signed the house over to Nia last year. Don't you remember? After your heart problem. The lawyer said not to do it, but you did. It's our house now, legally, I remembered. I had been sick. Nia cried and said it was just paperwork to make things easier if something happened to me. She said it was for her safety. I trusted her. I signed my house away out of love. And now she was using that love against me. I was too shocked to speak. Derek went to my room and came back with my old duffel bag. He threw it at my feet. Some of my clothes fell out. Here are your things, he said. We don't need your pennies. Get out. He grabbed my arm and pulled me to the door. I looked back at Nia one last time. She would not look at me. She was a coward. My own daughter was a coward. The door slammed behind me. The lock clicked. I stood on my own porch in the pouring rain. I was frozen. My mind was empty. The cold rain soaked my clothes. I looked through the window. I could see them inside, talking excitedly on the phone. They were already planning their new life with my money. Then the memories came. I saw myself working long hours at the steel mill, my body aching, my hands dirty, all for Nia. I saw myself selling my beloved jazz record collection to pay off a secret gambling debt Derek had. I did it for her. Every sacrifice I ever made, they were now throwing back in my face. The grief was a heavy weight on my chest. But then something changed. The cold rain felt like it was washing away my shock. A new feeling grew inside me. It was not sadness. It was strength. They thought I was a weak old man. But they were wrong. I was Arthur Bell. I worked in a steel mill for 45 years. I faced hard times and I survived. I was a man who kept his promises. My promise to Loretta was to take care of Nia. And I realized, standing in that rain, that sometimes taking care of someone means stopping them from doing a terrible thing. It means teaching them a lesson they will never forget. I stood straight. The pain in my old joints was gone for a moment. I was not a victim anymore. I was a man with a purpose. I took out my old flip phone. I scrolled past Nia's name. I found the name I needed. Leo, my oldest friend from the mill. I called him. The phone rang. Art, is that you? It's late, Leo said, his voice rough with sleep. Leo, it's Arthur, I said. We have a problem. The lottery numbers hit. There was a silence. Then all of them, we won? Yes, 125 million. But Leo, Nia, and Derek have the ticket. They kicked me out of my house. They say the money is all theirs. The line was quiet. I could feel his anger from the other side. Finally, he spoke. His voice was cold and hard. That boy Derek. I never trusted him. But Nia, I can't believe it. He took a breath. They messed with the wrong old men, Art. They forgot we are made of steel. His words made me strong. I was not alone. What do we do? I asked. First, you come to my house now. Second, we do not call them. We say nothing. Let them think they have won. Third, tomorrow you call a lawyer. Benita Alvarez. She is Maria's granddaughter. She is tough. They call her the Anvil. She will help us. I went to Leo's house. The next day, I called Benita. Her office was in a tall, shiny building. She was a young woman, but her eyes were smart and sharp. She did not waste time. Mr. Bell, tell me everything, she said. I told her the whole story. The lottery, the betrayal, the house deed. I told her about the Brotherhood of the Mill. For 15 years, 10 of us from the steel mill had played the lottery together. We had a written agreement. We all signed it. I was the trustee. I bought the tickets with our shared money. Benita listened carefully. When I finished, she nodded. This is not just about money, Mr. Bell. This is about justice. And the law is on our side. They are greedy, and greedy people make mistakes. She made a plan. We would do nothing. We would let Nia and Derek go to the lottery commission. We would let them celebrate. Meanwhile, we would gather our evidence. We got our original agreement from a safe deposit box. We printed years of bank statements showing our weekly $2 payments. We got the security video from the store where I bought the winning ticket. It showed me using our Brotherhood debit card. While we worked quietly, Nia and Derek were not quiet. They bought a new red sports car. They wore expensive clothes. They posted pictures on social media from inside my house, calling it their new life. They even threw a big party in my backyard. They were dancing on my broken heart. Benita just smiled. Let them have their fun, she said. Every picture is proof of their greed. Finally, the day came when Nia and Derek went to claim the prize. They arrived. Then I spoke. I looked directly at Nia. Daughter, I said. My voice was quiet but clear. Did you read the back of the ticket? She looked confused. The back? My name is on the front. I took out a copy of the ticket. I slid it across the table. I signed the back when I bought it. It says Arthur Bell, trustee for Brotherhood of the Mill. You were only holding it for me. You were so busy being greedy you never even looked. For a moment there was no sound in the room. Then Nia made a small choked noise. It was the sound of her world breaking. Her face, which had been proud and cold, completely fell apart. She put her head in her hands and her body shook with sobs. She finally understood the terrible mistake she had made. She had traded her father for a piece of paper, and now she had neither. Derek just stared at the table. All the fight had gone out of him. He looked small and weak. Their lawyer quietly told them, You have to sign. There is no other way. With a hand that was shaking, Nia signed the paper that gave up all claim to the money. She would not look at me. Derek signed after her, his signature an angry scratch. Then Nia reached into her expensive purse and took out the lottery ticket. She held it for a second, this small piece of paper that had caused so much pain. Then she pushed it across the smooth table towards me. Her hand was trembling. She still could not look at me. I took the ticket. I felt no happiness. I felt only a deep, heavy sadness. I had won the fight, but I had lost my child. The news of our win was in the paper the next week. But it was not about a young couple. The story was about the Brotherhood of the Mill. There was a picture of me, Leo, and the other 8 men standing in front of the old steel mill. The headline called us local heroes. The article talked about our 50 years of friendship and hard work. It was a good story. People liked it. Nia and Derek were not mentioned. They were just a forgotten part of the story. Their dream of fame and fortune had ended in silence. The money arrived. My share was a number so big it did not seem real. I looked at the bank statement and felt nothing. This money had broken my family. I did not want to use it for myself. I knew what I had to do. I used every single penny of my share to start the Loretta Foundation, named after my wife. Its mission was simple, to help people who were struggling just like I had once struggled. It gave scholarships to young people who wanted to study but had no money. It helped single parents pay their bills when times were hard. It was a way to wash the pain from the money and turn it into something good. It was a way to honor my wife's kind and generous heart. I found a small, quiet apartment to live in. It was nothing fancy, but it was enough for me. I spent my days working on the foundation. It gave me a new purpose. One afternoon, we had a small event in the community park to open a new children's playground that the foundation had paid for. The sun was shining. Kids were laughing and playing. I was standing near the new swings watching them. It felt good. That was when I saw her. Nia was standing at the edge of the park under a large tree. She was alone. She was not wearing expensive clothes anymore. She wore a simple, plain dress. She looked thinner. Her face was sad. She was watching me from a distance. Our eyes met across the park. I did not know what to feel. The anger was gone. The pain was still there, but it was quieter now, like an old scar. I did not smile. I did not wave. I just looked at her, my daughter, who had thrown me away for a dream that turned to dust. She held my gaze for a long moment. I saw the shame in her eyes. I saw the regret. I saw the broken pieces of the little girl I used to know. Then a single tear rolled down her cheek. She turned around and slowly walked away, disappearing into the shadows of the trees. I knew in that moment that Derek was gone. He had left her when the money disappeared. She had lost everything, the money, her husband, and her father. She was completely alone. A part of me wanted to run after her, to forgive her, to be her father again. But I couldn't. The wound was too deep. The trust was broken. Maybe with time a small seed of something new could grow, but it would take a long, long time. The door to my heart was not locked forever, but it was not open. She would have to find her own way back, one step at a time. I turned back to the children playing on the swings. Their laughter filled the air. I thought about Loretta. I had kept my promise. I had taken care of our girl, not by giving her money, but by trying to teach her what really matters in life. It was a hard lesson for both of us. This whole journey taught me the true meaning of wealth. Money is powerful. It can buy houses and cars, but it cannot buy happiness. It cannot buy love. It cannot buy respect. Real wealth is the love of your family. It is the loyalty of true friends who stand by you in your darkest hour. It is the satisfaction of doing honest work. It is the peace that comes from keeping your promises. It is the courage to start over when your life falls apart. It is the strength to forgive even when it feels impossible. And it is the hope that you can leave this world a little better than you found it. That is the fortune that lasts. That is the inheritance you can carry with you forever. No one can ever take that away from you.